Hello everyone. In this session, let us learn superposition theorem. Generally, this theorem is applied to circuits which has more than one source. So, we are going to say that whenever you have more than one source in your circuit, the total response of the circuit is going to be the algebraic sum of responses when the sources are acting alone. So, this is the statement which we have to have it in our memory, where you could replace the current through an element with the voltage across. So, superposition theorem is applicable to find the voltage and the current value in an element, and it is not applicable for finding the power. So this is the limitation of a superposition theorem. So first, let us once again go through the statement. So first, we are going to consider a linear bilateral network which is going to consist of more than one source, two or more independent sources, and the current through an element is the algebraic sum of currents through that element caused by each independent source acting alone, with all other sources being replaced by their internal resistance, or considering all other sources to be inactive. Okay, so all other sources to be inactive. So follow the definition or the statement given in any standard book. Now let me explain the superposition theorem with a simple problem. So here in this problem, we are asked to find the voltage across 10 ohm resistor. So here we are going to consider this circuit where you have two sources. The first source is the voltage source and the second source is the current source. So here, this is where we have to concentrate. So it is said that the independent sources are going to act alone, in the sense all the other source should be replaced by their internal resistance. That is, it has to be made inactive. So remember, whenever you want to make a voltage source to be inactive, you have to replace the voltage source with a short circuit. And if you want to make your current source inactive, then you have to open circuit a current source. Remember, one current flows in your circuit as long as the circuit is closed, right? So if you open the circuit, then automatically the flow of current is stopped, right? And similarly, potential difference or voltage exists only if 2 points are separated. If you make a connection between the 2 points, then automatically both these points potential becomes equal. That is, voltage difference or potential difference does not exist. So in order to make your voltage source inactive, you have to short circuit. So this should be remembered always. Now let me take you to this problem. So superposition theorem states that the total response is equal to the algebraic sum of individual response created by every source when the other source is inactive. So now here you have two sources. So here we are going to have two steps. Okay. So initially, let me say that I have two steps. So consider step 1, where we are going to consider only the voltage source. So consider 20 volt source to be active. So how do you consider 20 volt source alone to be active? So it is done by open circuiting. The other source is a current source, right? So this is done by open circuiting 1 ampere current source. So let me draw the circuit. Okay, so I'm going to open circuit here. So 20 volt, 20 ohm, as you could see here, I have open circuited the current source. So if you want to see, so this is the current source. So I'm open circuiting the current source. That is, I am removing the current source. These two leads. Okay, so here current is not going to flow, right? So let me rub it off completely. Okay. So this is my circuit. Okay, so when you consider 20 volt source alone to be active, what are we supposed to find? We are supposed to find the voltage across 10 ohm resistor. So whatever voltage you find now, okay, so let V1 be the voltage across 10 ohm. Okay, so use any method to find the voltage across 10 ohm resistor. So here you're going to say it is V1. And then now let me simultaneously discuss the next step also. So step 2 is going to be where you're going to consider 10 ampere source alone to be active. So if you consider 10 ampere source alone to be active, then you are supposed to short circuit the 20 volt source. So this is our circuit, right? 20 volt. So it is said you are supposed to short circuit 20 volt source. So here you have the 20 volt source, which is going to be replaced by a short circuit. Okay, so I replace the 20 volt source with the short circuit now. And now calculate the value of voltage. Let that voltage be V2. Let V2 be the voltage across 10 ohm. So here I'm not going to use any law or theorem. Instead, I'm going to use the voltage division rule and current division rule in order to find the value of voltage. Okay. So before I go to apply voltage division rule, let me assign the polarity. So here, okay, so let me consider this to be the direction of current, because here I have only one source. Current is going to originate from the positive terminal. So if current originates from the positive terminal, this terminal is positive, this is going to be assigned a negative value. Similarly, this terminal is positive and here it is going to be negative, right? And now let me consider the second step also. So current comes here, okay, from the current source. And as this current comes here, it reaches this point, it gets split into two, okay? So it gets split into two. Okay, so one portion of current is going to flow through the 10 ohm resistor. So this This is the point where current enters, so positive. So here the current leaves, so negative. So I have now assigned the polarity based on the actual flow of current. Now, let me apply voltage division rule and current division rule. So, voltage division rule. So, as you could see here, this is a voltage source which is connected to two series resistances. So, in a series circuit, always voltage gets divided, right? So, let us find the voltage. So, according to voltage division rule, let me write the voltage division rule and current division rule. Okay. So, voltage division rule. Okay. So, voltage across an element is equal to source voltage, or the voltage which is going to get divided across the elements. Okay, so I call it the source voltage into resistance of that element divided by total resistance along which the voltage is divided. Okay, so you could, okay, this is just for your understanding so that you don't go wrong while substitution. So this is voltage division rule. And going to current division rule. So current division rule is applicable to parallel circuits where current is actually dividing in elements. So current through a branch is equal to source current into other branch resistance divided by the total resistance along which the current is divided. Okay, so this is current division rule. So we are going to apply these two rules. So here over to this problem. Okay, so if you want to calculate the value of voltage across 10 ohm V1, so V1 is equal to source voltage 20 volt into the resistance of the element, which is 10, divided by the total resistance. So this is the total resistance along which the voltage is divided. So 20 plus 10. Okay. So 200 divided by 30. So that would give you the value of the voltage which is appearing across 10 ohm due to 20 volt. So V1 happens to be equal to 6.67 volt. And now here I have a current source and current is being divided, right? So current, so let this value of current be I2. Okay. So now I calculate I2, which is equal to source current, which is 1 ampere, into other branch resistance. Okay, so here we are worried about the other branch resistance. So other branch resistance is 20 and current is being divided in these two resistors, right? So the total resistance or sum of the resistance along which the current is divided is 20 plus 10. So you have it as 20 divided by 30. Okay. So it is 0.67 ampere. So remember, this is the current, but we are supposed to find voltage. Okay, so let me have it as 0.667. Okay, and what is V2? V2 is equal to I2 into the resistance is 10. So V2 is equal to 10 I2. So it is 6.67 ampere. Okay, so when only, now I'm going to draw the 10 ohm resistor. Okay, so when only voltage source is there, you have a voltage of 6.67 volt, and only when the current source is there, we have a voltage of 6.67 volt. So if you make a closer look at the polarity, it could be seen that it is the same. And what does superposition theorem state? Superposition theorem states that. So we are now going to apply superposition theorem. Applying superposition theorem. So what does it say? The total response is equal to the algebraic sum of individual responses. So here you have two voltages, say V1 and V2, and the total voltage across this 10 ohm resistor due to the presence of both 20 volt source and 1 ampere source is Vt is equal to V1 plus V2, which is equal to 6.67 plus 6.67. Okay, so here we have 13.34 volt. Okay, and if you want to verify, you could also, at times problem statement would be verify superposition theorem. So if you are asked to verify superposition theorem, first you have to apply superposition theorem, find total response, and find total response. And later you have to use any of the other theorems or mesh analysis. Okay, so you could use mesh analysis or nodal analysis, or you could use the Thevenin's theorem or Norton's theorem or any other theorem, and you have to prove that the voltage, whatever you have obtained by applying superposition theorem, is equal to whatever result you have obtained using any of these techniques. Okay, so let me once again read the statement of the superposition theorem. So superposition theorem states that in any linear bilateral network that consists of two or more independent sources, current through or voltage across an element is the algebraic sum of currents through or voltage across that element cast by each independent source acting alone, with all other sources replaced by their internal resistances. That is, you have to make all other sources inactive. Okay, that's superposition theorem. Thank you.